Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be doing Corey Feldman's top 10 best movies. I thought it'd be fun to make a top 10 list for a child/teen star, and three names came to mind: River Phoenix, Corey Haim, and Corey Feldman. My favorite one out of the three is Corey Haim, but I think Feldman has the strongest filmography out of any child actor. So let's start with him. I'd also like to give an honorary mention to Meatballs 4. I'm a fan of the Meatball films, and Meatballs 4 is a fun low-budget summer camp film, but it just missed out. So sit back, relax, and let the show begin. Number 10 is Dream a Little Dream. Released in 1989 and directed by Mark Rocco, he also directed Murder in the First, a film I absolutely love. I can't say I love Dream a Little Dream though, but it has its moments. Corey Feldman plays a high school student who has a crush on his friend's girlfriend, played by Meredith Salinger. One night while Feldman is driving his bike home, he takes a shortcut through his neighbor's yard and collides with Meredith, knocking him out cold. At the same time this is going on, the neighbors, played by Jason Robards and Piper Laurie, are doing some form of meditation in their backyard, causing all four characters to swap bodies. The story's a bit ridiculous, the editing feels choppy, and Feldman was going through some type of Michael Jackson phase, but it's still a fun time, and Corey Haim also plays Feldman's best friend, Dinger. They're great together. Number 9 is Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood. Released in 1996 and directed by Gilbert Adler, one of the show's producers. It didn't do well at the box office, making just a little over $5 million, but it only had $2.5 million budget, $1 million of which was paid to Dennis Miller. I've always enjoyed Bordello of Blood, and Corey Feldman isn't the lead actor, but his role is big enough to have this film on my list. It was in an episode of Tales from the Crypt, and he is friends with Richard Donner, one of the show's producers as well, and he, of course, director of The Goonies. The cast all around, just like Demon Knight, is fun. Among the fans, the majority would say Demon Knight is better, and I'd agree, but still, Bordello of Blood is a great time. Number 8 is License to Drive. Released in 1988 and directed by Greg Beeman, after the success of The Lost Boys, and that being their first film starring the two Coreys, people were anxious to greenlight a new project for the up-and-coming duo. License to Drive is a blast. Corey Haim plays the lead and Feldman plays the wisecracking best friend. They're great together once again in this film. The whole cast is excellent, with a young Heather Graham playing Corey Haim's crush, and Richard Masur as Haim's dad is just hilarious. Corey Haim flunks his license exam. He eventually tells his parents the truth, but that doesn't stop him from taking the car out late at night to impress his dream girl and his best friends. License to Drive is excellent. It's a great late 80s teen comedy. Number 7 is The Burbs. Released in 1989 and directed by Joe Dante. I love this film so much. It's a classic. And I'm shocked it's at number 7, but that's how strong this list is. I can watch this film any day of the week. It's so much fun. It takes place all on one block, and the interactions between the neighbors are hilarious. The cast of Tom Hanks, Bruce Dern, Rick DeCumming, and Corey Feldman, among many others, is fantastic. The music and atmosphere are top-notch. When I was a kid, I wanted to live on this block so bad. The Burbs is a classic horror comedy that you have to see if you haven't yet. Number 6 is Gremlins. Released in 1984 and again directed by Joe Dante, Gremlins was a massive hit at the box office, and for good reason. It's fantastic. When I was a kid, it felt like a horror film more than a comedy. I love the small-town Christmas setting. The cast, including Corey Feldman, is excellent. The creature designs are top-notch, and Gizmo is iconic. And of course, the music is fantastic. I watch Gremlins once a year around the holidays, but because of the horror elements, this makes for a good watch around Halloween as well. Everyone, I'm sure, has already seen this film. It's a classic, and if you haven't, then get on it. Number 5 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Released in 1990 and directed by Steve Barron, this was a massive hit, making over $200 million on a $13 million budget. This film is excellent. If you're going to make these types of movies, practical makeup effects are the way to go. The remake is an absolute joke, replacing quality filmmaking with CGI. Hollywood is so lazy in their decision-making nowadays. How can you release this crap, especially when you have the original masterpiece to compare it to? Corey Feldman voices Donatello and does a terrific job. The look of the original classic is top-notch, and the music gives me goosebumps. Feldman didn't reprise his voice role for the sequel, but did return to voice Donatello in the third installment. The original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a classic and will never be matched in quality, unless they hire me to direct, that is. Number 4 is The Lost Boys. Released in 1987 and directed by Joel Schumacher, The Lost Boys is excellent. It's my favorite vampire film of all time. and the look and atmosphere are top-notch. The young A-list cast featuring the two Coreys for the first time is just memorable. And let's hear it for Tim Capello on sax. Fucking still, buddy! Santa Carla Boardwalk opening with People Are Strange and the shots at night where the Boardwalk amusement park is all lit up is just incredible. They really knew how to set the mood back in the 80s. Feldman is hilarious. He's a 16-year-old Rambo wannabe working at the comic book store. I love the first scene where Corey Haim walks in. Feldman and his frog brother, their interactions with Haim are hilarious. This film is just so much fun. It's a classic film. Number 3 is Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. Released in 1984 and directed by Joseph Zito, I love this one so much. It's one of the greatest slasher films ever made. Has all the elements for a perfect horror film. A fantastic, believable cast all around, including Corey Feldman. Perfect secluded setting. Perfect atmosphere. Excellent music. And an iconic slasher, Jason Voorhees. Along with top-notch makeup effects by legend Tom Savini. The final chapter is the pinnacle in the franchise. Feldman is great in this role as Tommy Jarvis. He would go on to reprise his role in Part 5 for just a brief 2-minute dream sequence. But Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter, it's a horror masterpiece. Number 2 is Stand By Me. Released in 1986 and directed by Rob Reiner, this film is a timeless classic, an excellent adventure about 4 best friends on a journey to find a missing teenager. The cast of kids are top-notch, and so are the older guys, led by Kiefer Sutherland. Feldman and Sutherland would work together again the following year on The Lost Boys. Stand By Me has a phenomenal story set in the 50s. I love the small town feeling, and of course the music fits the film perfectly. I love all the stops along the way on their adventure, and their interactions are so well performed. This film is just top notch. Number 1 is The Goonies. Released in 1985 and directed by Richard Donner, The Goonies was another massive hit in the 80s for Feldman. It's another timeless classic. I love the small town setting in Astoria, and the cloudy fall type atmosphere is perfect. The cast is fantastic all around, and their adventure is just so much fun. It's definitely a film that you wish would keep on going. The chase throughout the secret tunnels that lead all the way to a hidden pirate ship filled with gold is an absolute blast. And for such a young actor, Feldman really nailed his performance and showed off his talents by speaking perfect Spanish. It was definitely a tough choice between Stand By Me and The Goonies, but in the end, The Goonies gets the top spot. Anyway, so that's the list, guys. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.